Now we're ready to start the exercise on the chalkboard, and I have my chalkboard ready with my chalk here. You can also use a whiteboard and a marker pen if you have that available, or if you have a large piece of paper and maybe some graphite or charcoal, then you can use that instead. The main thing is to draw on something so that you can see the form that you're drawing. And the reason for that is that you can do this form without actually drawing it on something, but I recommend you see how your form turns out first so that you've practiced and that you know how it should feel and end up looking like before you just draw it in the air. And I'll come back to what the form should end up looking like and what it could look like if you're not being careful. But let's get on with the exercise. So I start small with a lemniscate form, and then I gradually move it out as I go down. Now obviously you're not going to be talking like I am when I'm showing you this. I want you to, when you're doing this exercise, focus on the movement, the rhythmic movement, and focus on making your form slightly larger as you're moving down the board, and slightly longer. And if you breathe in time with the movement, you will feel your breath getting longer and deeper. You can try just drawing it initially without thinking about your breath. And then you can draw it again whilst you're focusing on your breath. So that's the exercise itself, and you can see here, if we move the board around, that we've got the shape of the form as it expands downward is a sort of what I like to call a Christmas tree shape. It's not really a Christmas tree shape, it's more like a triangle. But that's what your shape should end up looking like. It's very important that you don't end up with something that looks like this. This is too narrow. If your form ends up looking like this, mine is kind of actually in between these two, but ideally your form should look wide at the bottom. So when you're moving down in the lower part of your body and on whatever you're drawing on, there should be a good wide expanse of the form. So that's important in order to really feel that grounding sensation of taking energy, the stress, or whatever it might be that you're feeling, taking that from the head and bringing it down through the body, really getting it down into the body, and so that you're beginning to feel more of a kind of contact with the earth, a grounding sensation. And that's the exercise. It's very simple. I would also suggest that you don't try and make your form look beautiful, but have a focus on getting the form right initially. And then secondly, once you've done that, you can go over the form again. simply going over the form that you've already drawn. You just now have the form. Now I'm standing to the side as I'm drawing this. Obviously, I'd want you to stand in front of it so that you're looking at it. And then you just simply go over your form again. Don't try and follow the lines you've already drawn. Just simply go down in the same form. So you can see it kind of becomes a mess or a tangle. You can't really see you know, where you've been and where you're going. So here you're really focusing on that feeling as you're going down your form again, really focusing on feeling that energy, drawing that energy and that grounding sensation down into your body. And you keep going all the way down. Like this, whilst standing in front of your form, obviously. So, as I said, this form, once you get it right, with being a sort of a triangular shape, a Christmas tree-like shape, what you can do is you can also actually just draw it in the air, or you can visualize it. So if you're somewhere where you're feeling really stressed and you feel like you need a shot of grounding and really come back to your own senses and calm yourself down, then you can draw this form literally with your hand in the air. But I wouldn't do that until you've practiced it and seen that you can draw it so you get that Christmas tree shape. And then just, you can even close your eyes, or you can do it, go into a toilet, close the door, lock it, nobody can see you, and then just stand, or into another room, and then stand in the air and literally make that movement down and feel that grounding sensation as you're doing it. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this exercise and that it will help keep you grounded.